Building value and rapport. The most important thing that you'll ever do in sales is building this value and rapport. When you meet that customer, when you're in customer interaction, it's as if there is a Grand Canyon between you and that customer. Here's a customer on this side, you're on the other side. What a lot of salespeople do is try to fill the Grand Canyon up with a bunch of fancy words, and number one, not even listening to the customer. By actively listening to the customer, we'll teach you that later on, you actually build a bridge of trust across that Grand Canyon. Your words don't have to fill the Grand Canyon. Let your trust and rapport building build the bridge and span that gap so that you can take your product or your service or whatever you're selling across that bridge and save that time, get in front of the customer, and now you have that opportunity to sell, to promote, or to explain your services. Without that bridge, you're just shouting across the Grand Canyon. They can't hear you, it's just echoing. You want to be very clear with the customer that you're not trying to sell them something they can't afford, don't want, or can't buy right now. You want to make sure that you're coming from a position that you're trying to help them. What is rapport? Rapport really, when it boils down, is trust. You want to make sure that they feel that you're invested into them. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Yes, they know that you're there to sell a product, but they want to know that you value them first. The product fits them. You're not trying to make them fit the product. There's a lot to learn here in building rapport. Again, this is the key cornerstone to sales success. It's not the fancy words, it's the rapport. Another thing with rapport is once you lost rapport, once you've crossed that bridge and you have that trust, if for some reason something goes wrong and it pushes you back, regaining rapport sometimes needs to be done, and oftentimes in the sale. How does that look? You're talking to the customer, you thought you had great camaraderie, but yet something went wrong, you said something, they didn't realize something, you're coming into the close and they say, you know what, I didn't realize that, we're done. You gotta reestablish rapport throughout the sales process. I said it before and I'll say it again. It's really about building a relationship with the customer. You know, when you first meet that customer, the first thing you're gonna say is, how are you doing? Your name. Ask for their name. Everybody likes to talk about themselves. You want to get them talking about them, not just because you're trying to manipulate them into a product or your service, but that you truly care about the individual. Understand, if you're selling something you don't like or you don't believe in or you don't care about the customer and you truly just generally don't like people or you're not in this life to value people, sales isn't for you. You know, sales has been muddied in the water so often as trying to cram down somebody's throat something they can't afford, don't want to buy, but forcing them to do it and manipulate them into a product that's not fit for them, knowing that they can't do this, but pushing them around. Rapport selling is successful selling. Rapport selling takes the pressure away. The typical sales that we hear of applies pressure. No, you want to relieve the pressure of the customer. When you're coming to that door or they're over the phone or they walk into your place of business, do you think they're nervous? Do you think they're expecting somebody to force them to do something? They absolutely are. So you make sure that you are there and establish a relationship first, asking questions. Who's it for? When's it for? Why now? Find their hotspot. What does that mean? We'll explain that a little bit down the road. Is you want to find the reason why they're there in front of you now. Why haven't they bought it before? What has happened? Has the product they're selling now, has it failed in the past? And you want to make sure that you're selling yourself first, selling the company second, and selling your product third. I'm going to say it again. Sell yourself first, sell the company second, and sell your product third. The product will sell itself, or service, if you sell yourself right first. The company will sell itself if you sold yourself first. What does selling yourself look like in the rapport? It's making sure that you're coming from a position that you care about them and that you built now the relationship, that trust, that they can share with you valuable information that otherwise they typically wouldn't share to the other salesperson. We're going to talk a little bit down the road about how to avoid objections ever coming up, and rapport is the way to do it. We're excited to show you this.